All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily Weekend, and right now we're about to have a conversation. But before we get into the conversation, remember that this show is very interactive, and you can send your messages to us, and then we get to read it on the show. You can use the WhatsApp number on the screen to send your messages, and also don't forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily. That's if you want to comment via X, or formerly known as Twitter, or Facebook. And we have a Mother's Day message here. Stella Donker of Ghana Police Service, Kaswa Division, from your son, Desmond Tutu. I really wish you a happy Mother's Day in advance. Thank you so much for being there for us, and God richly bless you for your good doings to us. We love you, Mom. And that's it. So you can also send in your messages to us. And right now, like I said, we are about to get into a conversation, a very exciting conversation, and a conversation that will blow your mind. So this guy that we are about to talk to, has 2 books. But before being an author, he actually went through some experiences that led him to writing these books. But he's not just an author, he's also an entrepreneur. In fact, one person that has a groundbreaking bar. When I say a groundbreaking bar, well, bars are known to be, places where alcoholic drinks are served. But this guy has a bar that serves non-alcoholic drinks. The first gentleman in the studio with us is John Asogonnde. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing very well.
How's everything, John?
Yeah, God's been good. I'm feeling great.
It's good to have you in the studio.
Yeah.
And excitingly, we have a bar.
Yes, we do.
So we have a whole
non-alcoholic bar.
We brought Eden Bar here today.
Right here.
Yeah. Eden Bar is the name of the bar,
The place,
right?
yeah.
And so everything here is non-alcoholic.
0% guaranteed.
Wow.
Early on when Moses came and he was setting up, we saw how stylish the bottles are looking, and the colors of the content of the drinks, and then we were thinking, oh, are they sure these are alcoholic? So we had to ask him to confirm, and he confirmed that these are actually all non-alcoholic beverages. And they are very interesting because most of the times we see these things and then we are seeing them as alcoholic brands or beverages or drinks, but I mean, kudos to you.
So excitingly, before we actually started, they had to share a menu with us, so we had to choose drinks that we're going to be having on the show while having the conversation. We've chosen our drinks already, and as you can see, that is the menu on the screen right there. And
so what are you going for?
Yeah, I think I chose the first one. Yeah.
Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple,
I would have creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme, great.
Great for a Saturday morning.
All right, so let's get into the conversation. Before we talk about the books, what actually led into the creation of Eden Bar?
Yeah, Eden Bar started out as something I wanted for myself because when I quit drinking, I found that everything in Accra revolved around alcohol. And so even if I just wanted to go spend time with my friends somewhere, it's like alcohol was right there in your face. And sometimes you ask the bartender you want a non-alcoholic drink, and they'll insist that they want to pour something inside for you.
Something small.
Something small. You know how to do it. So I was like, nah, if it's not out there, then, let me create one myself. And that's how the idea started.
Right. So how has it influenced the community?
It's largely influenced nightlife in Accra because apparently so many people wished there was a place like this as well. It was not just me. And so when I brought the idea out, people were like, wow, finally this is a place for me. Finally this exists, and so we've been able to curate something that people really love. We've had so many
your journey from addiction. You understand? So now, this journey from addiction led to a compelling place that you are right now, being an author.
Yeah.
So can you take us back to what the book is about, especially for those who have never heard about it?
Yeah. So breaking up with Mary Jane, you're probably wondering who Mary Jane is. Mary Jane is simply marijuana.
Oh, wow.
So breaking up with marijuana. And so I had smoked for about 6 years. I was a chain smoker. And by the grace of God, I quit smoking in 2018. So the following year, I realized that I had to share my story to inspire other people, because I realized how marijuana was affecting a lot of young people, even till date. So I wrote Breaking Up with Mary Jane just to share that bit about how I started smoking and how I quit smoking. Yeah.
Now, when you decided to quit smoking, from amongst the people you were smoking with, or amongst your very close people, did you experience any prejudice? Did you experience any backlashes? And if you did, how did you deal with that?
When I quit?
Yes.
Yeah. It was funny. Well, my immediate surrounding, most of my friends thought it was a joke. And I remember those set bets behind my back. Oh, Charlie, 1 week he'll come back.
Oh.
2 weeks he'll come back. It's been 5 years, and I've
Wow.
been, but I think what really did it for me was I had a vision. I had a different mindset. I was strengthened by God's grace and His mercy, and so I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly where I was going. So nothing was able to influence my decision.
Yeah, so how did it happen? Because addiction, when you're addicted to something, when you want to cut it off, it actually takes a journey. It takes a lot of persistence. It takes a lot of little effort every day to do things differently.
Yeah.
So how did it happen for you? Did you just wake up and say, I'm not doing it again? Or you said, you probably said, okay, I usually do 5 wraps. Today I'm going to do 4.
I was doing
usually
10 wraps anyway.
Okay.
In a day?
In a day, I was smoking 10 joints.
Yeah.
But I went cold turkey. I think that's the best way to quit once and for all. There's no sideways, or let me do one. No, just stop at one if you can. I mean, that's the best way from my experience. And I always say it's by the grace of God, because I couldn't have done it alone. I gave my life to Christ in 2018, and almost immediately I was able to find the strength to walk away from some of these substances.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Breaking Up with Mary Jane was your first book where you talked about breaking up with marijuana, which you termed Mary Jane. I must commend you for your wordplay in the book. I read the book and then I loved it. I loved every sentence you put in there.
This
because
one?
No, Breaking Up with Mary Jane, before
okay.
I come to this.
Okay.
I loved every sentence you put in the book, because at a point when I was reading the book, even though not to judge you, not to be judgmental, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I could imagine myself in there. It was as though I was listening to a story, though you were not there. So that's a good book.
Thank you.
Now, you've told a story about how you broke up with Mary Jane. What is Unchained about? This is the new one. What is it about?
So Unchained is basically a book that aims... It's a very interesting book.
This is the second one right now. So can you explain your writing process? What goes through your mind for you to translate it into the words that will get into the book?
It's like a movie. It plays out in my mind like a movie, and then I lay it down in bits. So I section it. Before I wrote the book, I actually knew the chapters I wanted to write. So I put down all the chapters, and then after that I started fleshing it out. So I take maybe chapter 1, for instance, the preacher's kid. Then I start fleshing it out. Chapter 2.
Are you a preacher's kid?
I am.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write this book?
Maybe 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, in chapter 2 of your book, the fourth paragraph, let me read just that bit. For me, such a moment occurred at a tender age of 6, in a small town where dreams were often overshadowed by weight of poverty and everyday struggles. It was just a visit from the ruling president, Jerry John Rawlings. President. What happened to that dream?
I was just 6 years old after seeing the late President Rawlings. He inspired me so much because of the charisma and the hope he brought to that very small community. But, as life went on, I found, we have our drinks here.
Yeah.
Great. So, as I was growing up, I got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Started smoking, started drinking. living recklessly, but that dream always, always existed. And I remember back then my friends used to call me vice president.
Of hope, do you think your, this book is actually going to give out to the community or readers?
First of all, I think it's going to inspire a lot of young people to find what their real purpose is, because I've come to find out that that's what brings true happiness. That's what brings fulfillment. And so once you understand what your purpose in life is, you're able to overcome a lot of things. And also it's going to help people who may be addicted to any substance to be able to break off any addictions they have.
Yeah.
Because it's a real story of someone who has had that before and has been able to turn his life around.
You sound old, right?
I do?
Yeah. You sound like you've lived.
Well,
But you're young.
I'm young.
So what actually inspired all this? Would you say it's background? Would you say it's everything that you've gone through that have made you this person right now? Honestly, you sound old. I could listen to you like you're my daddy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
There's so much wisdom.
exactly.
You
Is
speak
there a
with lot of
mentor?
wisdom.
Was it your dad? What is it? What is it that's made you this person?
Yeah, I think I've been blessed with a lot of good mentors. My dad, for one, is really one person I look up to. He calls me, just yesterday he was asking me, John, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and in the next 20 years? And he wanted me to lay it out like that, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And also my pastor, Dr. Mensa Otabil, he's a man of depth, so much wisdom. So having such people around you can really have a huge impact on the way you think and the way you live.
Right.
John, chapter 16 of Unchained again talked about when you decided to create Eden Bar, Ghana's first non-alcoholic bar. Right. When you decided to create the bar, you had your own thought or your own vision and goal for the bar. Do you think the bar has fulfilled or has achieved the aim or satisfying people who may have also been in your kind of situation? Has it fulfilled your goal?
It has, and it's still in motion, but it largely has. Sometimes I'm just sitting at an eating bar and I see people just come there, and sometimes church groups, and they're just like a group of 10, and they're having a Bible discussion, and they're having cocktails.
Ooh,
and it's so nice to see.
Beautiful.
So that's different.
Yeah. So
beautiful.
it brings me so much joy that a place like that even exists for people to come through. And we've had people who are trying to cut down on alcohol, but they still want to go out. So they come to eating, they have a beer, non-alcoholic, they have a wine, they have these very lavish cocktails, and it's good.
Right. Nice. So the book is here right now, and it's about to be launched. So tell us about the whole book launch. When is it happening? What's going to be? What we should expect? What time? And all that.
So Unchained will be launched on Sunday, the 19th of May, at Eden Bar. Eden Bar is actually here in Tesano at 4 p.m. So Sunday after church, you can go home, freshen up, and then come to Eden Bar at 4 p.m. We are launching this book in partnership with the Mental Health Authority. Actually, that's why I work purple, because Mental Health Authority has designated the month for purple. So it's going to be a very beautiful evening. I'm expecting so many people to come through and support, and you're both invited.
Thank you.
I'd love to see you there to support you.
And right after that, the book will be available in bookstores, online, Amazon, for people to grab a copy.
Right.
Before we let go of you, you have been through this whole journey of alcohol and smoking. What is that one advice you give to somebody who is going through it and also wants to stop but hasn't figured out how to or has the urge to do it?
All right. First of all, there is help. People don't think, they can find help. And so you need to know that there's help if you're looking for it. You can reach out to Mental Health Authority. They have a toll-free number. you can reach out to them and they will be able to direct you to exactly where you can find that help. But
Alright.
also, I think what people need to understand is that we have a limited time on Earth. And so some people think, oh, they would mess around
They'll do it
when they
tomorrow,
are
yeah.
40 years or 50 years, that's when they turn their lives around. But you never know, you may not make it there. You know, so this is the time. You have to make that bold step now.
Right,
On
right.
that note, this is the time.
Right.
Let's take
Cheers.
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 Cheers,
to
everyone. Cheers,
Unchanged.
everyone.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from John Asogonnde, who is an entrepreneur and also the owner of the first non-alcoholic bar in Accra, Eden Bar, and also an author at the same time. He talked about his first book and is about to launch his second book, which is going to be launched on Sunday, 19th May 2024, 4 p.m. at the Eden Bar here in Tessanum. It's been a great conversation, so do well and go out there and support him, his bar. If you want to drink something non-alcoholic, it's right there. Don't be afraid. There's something nice for you. Yeah, so we've had a great conversation, but it's time for us to take a quick break and we will be back.